Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Hello, everyone. Well, this is SUPEREEVEEMASTER here, and welcome to this live stream. Anyway, and this is the Pure Michigan 400 live stream right here. Um, and and today what I'll say is that we're going to be one in for an interesting race. So after last week of Watkins Glen, a pretty enjoyable race. AJ Allmendinger won that race after narrowly beating Marcus Ambrose. And yeah, and we're gonna have quite a bit to talk about here today as I commentate as the race is going on today. So we're at Michigan International Speedway here for the second time in a row, and we just have 4 races to go, and we have 4 chase spots left. It's pretty unlikely we're gonna have 4 different winners in these next 4 races. So I'm gonna say it. So I think some drivers are going to race their way in on points, and others will race their way in, and others will race their way in on wins. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Matt Kenseth. He's pretty good in the chase, because he's third. So I'll say that. And what I will also say is that I think Matt Kenseth's good. I think Ryan Newman, he's okay, but I think everyone else should be a little bit worried here, especially if we get like another new winner today. It's pretty unlikely that we'll get a new winner, but you never know what can happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to change. I had to fix the channel for just a second there. Uh, so so here we go. Uh, and I feel like I for now I'm gonna be talking in this kind of like mellow voice. I'm gonna do the best I can. So my so I don't struggle to be stuttering because that wouldn't be fun for anyone to watch. Anyway, and yesterday, I think it was yesterday, or I think it was Friday night. Friday night when I when I scheduled the live stream, I did something that was like I posted a comment. Here's what the comment said. The comment said, "Go to my recent live stream or my discussion board to find some rules that I have for my live streams." And what that was meaning was that I had to set some rules. And now I know that may possibly like annoy like some people, but I feel like that for my live streams, since I'm the one who made them, I think there should be some rules I'm taking that kind of annoys me. And if we do go to my go to my channel right here, go to my discussion board, which I'm doing right now. There were rules that were like, I think, okay, I think the first one, it was kind of a little bit nonsensical, or is kind of a little bit of like nonsense. But the first rule said you can't come up with a lot of hyperactivity. It's just like I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why. I just tend to get kind of like on edge whenever someone is kind of has like a lot of enthusiasm and kind of like screams, and it just kind of like gets on my nerves. But there are other live streams that can accept you for your hyperactivity, I guess you can say. And second of all is don't play games. I don't want people to be playing. I don't want people to be playing these games. To playing like video games, even if it's like NASCAR video games. I don't really want anyone to like play those. I want them to actually like either talk about me, or watch the race along with me as it's happening. And third of all, and this is a rule and I'm just bringing this rule back up again. Please don't bring your science or diecast reviews. There are probably other live streams that can allow you for that. And fourth rule is you can't come on this live stream, not talk, and do other things. Now, I made that rule, because and it can kind of go along with the don't play games rule. I feel like that there have been a few people in the past who come on these live streams and just like do not like talk. They're just kind of there, not talking at all, talking at all. And I think the purpose of live streams is to have conversation. You know, those are the four rules that I have for this. And and yeah, and if you go to my description, there are a few topics that I am going to be discussing it about here, like the Super EV master plans, the future ones, and then the recent NASCAR activities that have been going on in the past, like the past week. So that's going on. So I'll be talking about that, and well, I'll also be talking about like what I've been doing in the past week, and then some other stuff, that's down there in the description. So, anyways, but I'm pretty sure that if anyone wants to come along and oh 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 oh, oh sorry, I'm actually super sorry. I shouldn't have put the link in the description. My bad. Okay, okay, you may have to refresh the page, but I'm putting the link right now in the description. So if anyone's watching, if you refresh that page, now the link should be in the description. I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, I guess I kind of got lost in talking about like the rules and the other stuff that's going on. But anyways, here we are in Michigan here. Anyway, so on Friday, Jeff Gordon set a track record. I believe it's the sixth or seventh fastest qualifying speed in the history of NASCAR at 206.558 miles per hour, which is insanely fast. I was when Michigan was repaved in 2012. I was initially expecting like, okay, so the first qualifying that'll be the fastest speed, and then as the races go on, it'll get slower, slower, and slower. But that has not been the case surprisingly. So my prediction was wrong. So whatever is going on, I think what's possibly going on is that the track it's gaining more grip, and I think and I believe the more grip you have, the faster your car goes. So so I think that is what so I think that can possibly help me explain on why speeds keep on getting like faster and faster and faster here. Uh, anyway, eh, anyways, just as my again. Okay, so someone must have commented. It was WWE Custom Tie Tate Truck. I'm sorry, I have a hard time pronouncing things. You can read the rest, but he or she said, "I want you guys for predictions for the Michigan Ford today." Okay, I'll post it in the comments. I think my prediction is Joey Logano. I think he won here a year ago, but I think Joey Logano he's definitely I would definitely put him as a driver to watch for. And he starts second today, so I think Joey Logano is going to be a driver. Is going to be a driver to watch for. I put him. I picked him. I picked him when Anthony Martin does his who will win picks. That's what I posted in the comments. So I think Joey Logano is going to win today's race, and that's my prediction. So if anyone wants to join, or if anyone's like watching right now, there's that link in the description, and you can come on these live streams. You know, come on these live, come on this live stream. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk whenever I'm doing like two things at once. I have to like stop. So sometimes I have to like stop. Okay, so here we go. So just as a reminder, once again, the link is in the description. And I'm not expecting a lot of people here, but I think it's it's nice enough to talk, to talk about. Okay, and this guy picks like, so he picks Jeff Gordon. Oh well, that's not a bad that's not a bad pick. He's been on quite a bit of like he's been on like a hot streak recently, so I can understand him picking Jeff Gordon here. He starts in the pole. He seems to have a really fast car, but he's had a really fast car because uh, when you think about it, Jeff Gordon, he won at Indianapolis. He had a great one at Pocono, and if Jeff Gordon didn't have that like power issue problem at Watkins Glen, I think he would have been definitely having a contender. So hopefully, Jeff Gordon can possibly redeem himself. I don't know. I think Jeff Gordon. I posted this in the comments when NASCAR's YouTube channel published a video of uh, like out front with Miss Coors Light like video or something like that. I posted it in the comments saying like I think Jeff Gordon, he's been doing really well. He's been doing really well lately. It's hard to envision that final. It's hard to envision him. Let me say it again. It's hard to not see him in the top in the final four spots heading into the home state. I think Jeff Gordon is definitely a championship contender. I think he's having his best season, since like 2007. And 2007 was the first year I started watching NASCAR, so I do remember seeing him on a good streak. Anyway, anyway, so there's today. Anyway, and so our Michigan here today. The conditions are awfully cloudy. I'll say that. We got a lot of overcast skies here today. There was rain earlier, so we are going to have a competition caution. At lap 20, so plenty of time, and hopefully, and last time we had a competition caution was at Daytona, and if we remember what happened at Daytona was that we were heading we we were as we were heading into the competition caution we had the like huge wreck that took out like all the chasers at that point, so hopefully this race can redeem itself for that awful competition caution. Oh well. I still think that that Daytona race in July was like the stupidest Daytona race I've ever like seen. It was just like it was like so wrong in so many ways. So yeah, out of all the Daytona races that I've seen or heard, that's the stupidest race I've ever heard or seen. You know. So here we go. So overcast skies here today, Michigan. So that definitely could change conditions because we've been practicing pretty much in sunshine, and maybe the sunshine, and maybe that the sunshine will appear today, uh, in today's race. But hopefully, but I think for the most part we're going to be fine. Uh, I did check the weather. I did check weather.com, and I did find out that there's definitely at least a 20% chance of rain today. Oh well, for whatever I don't know for whatever reason today it's at like 60%. I think that 60% like went by like this morning, so I think there's not too much concern about that for this race. But I do think that I do think that But I will definitely, I think everyone should be watching for rain because you never know, it could pick up. I did check like the future radar and everything, and I think rain is scheduled, but I think rain will come after the race is over if the race ends at scheduled distance time, which is I believe 4 p.m. Eastern time. So here we go here. Anyways, and this race is called the Pure Michigan 400 here. I think it's been called the Pure Michigan 400 for I think it's called that in the past like two years, but I'll just go check here. I'll see. I think it's actually it was called the Pure Michigan 400 in 11, 12, and 13. Yeah, so it's been going on for the past 3 years. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know. I think Michigan. Oh, however, I think my prediction is that if I picked Joe Logano, but if Joe Logano did not win, I feel like that if Joe Logano didn't win, we're going to have a repeat winner here today, and then once we get that repeat winner, the 16 race winners dream is over. I feel like let's see, because we have our next, so we have this racetrack, we have Bristol, we have Atlanta, and we have Richmond. That's 4 racetracks. I feel like that we can. Okay, Bristol. I think to me Bristol is unpredictable, so I think we could get a new winner at Bristol. But I think Michigan, Atlanta, and Richmond, we're going to have drivers who we expect to run on front. They're going to run on front, and we're going to have expected winners. But at Bristol, anything can happen at Bristol. And what we saw back in, and what we saw back in, what we saw back in like March was like insane. But let me say this. But let me say this. That was, in my opinion, that was also a pretty like stupid Bristol race again. So I am definitely like angry of how that's been going on. So yeah, just as a reminder, the Hangout link is in the description, and it will stay there until this live stream is over. Okay. Okay, Cody Higgins' second YouTube channel predicts that Dale Jr. is going to be the driver to watch for, and that's reasonable. Dale Jr. He has 2 wins here, and Dale Jr. He's definitely has showed some success. But I think Dale Jr. is going to be able to watch for. I almost feel like that, and if we're going to have like, I feel like ever since like Daytona pretty much, I feel like that we've been getting into some kind of like groove lately of where it's like, okay, so half of the drivers currently in the chase are going to be bad, and half of the drivers that are in the chase are going to be like really good. Because I've been noticing like a lot because in these past like few weeks, out to the 11 and now 12 drivers, it's like five of them will finish outside the top 30, and 5 of them in the R5 are going to finish inside the top 15. So yeah, I feel like that everyone has been having like an up and down season, like all like 43 drivers, and which I guess it does kind of I guess it does create like a little more drama for this NASCAR season. And I think it's great, but I've said this before. For those who have been watching my videos, I just personally feel like that, the chase is just. I think the chase, I think the chase, is like super complicated, and I think the chase would be fine if we just get rid of those eliminations. Those eliminations are kind of not like fair because then at that point I'm like, so if we're gonna have eliminations, then what's the point of the chase? This is just my opinion, but and we may have people who disagree, and that's okay. Okay. Okay, and as that's going on, I recently just found I have 103 subscribers. So thank you. I actually got like 2 subscribers like yesterday, which is pretty insane. Which is pretty insane, I'll say. And apparently we just got like a new record of like 4 viewers. So I guess okay. Now I just went back to like 3, but that's okay. But I guess if anyone's interested to join, then that's okay. The link is in the description. Well, I'm actually very curious here. I'm gonna pull up like a second tab right here. Uh, okay, Cody Hagen said, have you seen NASCAR drivers do the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge? And I will get to that in a second here, but I'll get to it. I'll get to that like later in the live stream. So I guess stay tuned if you want to hear me talk about that. Uh, let's see. I want to check. Let's see. I wonder if Mr. Hendrick fan doing a live stream now. I'm curious. Is he doing like a Watkins Glen live stream? Not yet. He may do one like later. But that's okay. Uh, yes, Cody Hagen have some drivers do the ice bucket challenge. Oh, oh well. Oh well. Okay. So I like to watch like the NASCAR practices and qualifying. And one of the things that I talked about in NASCAR practice was Kyle Larson. They're talking about how Kyle Larson here. He could be a championship. He could be like a chase like threat. And what they haven't talked about is how now we're coming back to tracks a second time. and Kyle Larson has been getting a little bit better. Well, I can't feel like I say, I'm just not like a fan of like Kyle Larson for no reason. Maybe it's because we're in NASCAR, we're living in like an era of where rookies normally don't do well. You know, so it kind of like shocks me that so it like shocks me to see that Kyle Larson is doing super well. But I think Kyle Larson, he definitely has like a long career ahead of him. And I think Kyle Larson, he is definitely like fast. He's talented. He's definitely fast and talented. But I think I don't know. What I personally feel like is that I feel like Kyle Larson probably should have stayed nationwide for like a year, for a year or two before moving up to the Cup. This is just my opinion because I kind of feel like that it's all happened like so like fast because I feel like it's that like 3 years ago, 3 years ago, it was like no one knew like Kyle Larson, and now he's becoming a real NASCAR star. Anyway, so I got to put that on hold because drivers are not coming to the field, or we're coming out of turn number 4 here. The pace car is going to pull down here right about now, and here we go. Here we go, pace car pulling up here. Jeff Gordon, he'll start on the high side, Logano on the inside. That's interesting, but I think the high side could be the lane. I feel like that as the years go by, the high line has been more of the preferred lane. And here we go here. Pace car down here road. Here we go. Here, green flag here. Jeff Gordon really gone to the green flag. Here we go. Green flag at the Pure Michigan 400 here. What will happen here as we go down turn number 1? Joe down here. He's got the edge in front of Jeff Gordon right now. Here comes Ryan Newman making a charge on the high side, getting past Austin Dillon. Here we go here. As we got cars high and low here, but Matt Kenseth is slightly out of the group just a little bit here. As we got a side out here between Jeff Gordon and Joe Logano. Are we going to have a crash on lap 1? That's a question. Watch Brian Vickers. This time around, I think Brian Vickers is going to survive lap 1. So, redemption from what happened back in June, where Brian Vickers crashed on lap 1. So here we go here. I see Paul Menard. Paul Menard won the national race in Michigan back in June, if anyone remembers that. Here we go here. I see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Carl Edwards is in 3rd. Kevin Harvick is in 4th. And Brad Keselowski is in 5th. So our top 5 is Logano, Gordon, Edwards, Harvick, and Keselowski. That into top 5. Vickers is 7th. Ryan Newman. No, Vickers is 6th, sorry. Ryan Newman is 7th. Paul Menard is 8th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 9th. And James Murray is 10th. Okay, so here we go here. As cars are still slicing but pretty much now we're starting to get most of the field is starting to get single file here now, as normal. I wonder if the Athletic Cup Suits guy is at this race now, because he does live in Michigan, and he has and him and his little brother Bryce Harvey, they have shown like clips of them in Michigan in the past. So I do wonder if they are indeed at this race. Okay, so Joe Logano took the lead from Jeff Gordon. I don't know if Jeff Gordon had problems keeping up with Logano, or that was just like normal problems. But here we go. Here, Logano is your leader. So as we're on lap 4 of 200 here, 200 laps, 400 miles. Oh my God, Kyle Busch in the wall. Bad luck continues for Kyle Busch. Bad luck continues for Kyle Busch here. Okay, so ever since this track has been repaved, a first caution has come in the first 7 laps in every single race. So now the streak is going to go on for 6 more races here. So what happened to Kyle Busch here? It looks like Kyle Busch may have gotten a little. It looks like a Kyle Busch may have gotten a little bit too high. Oh, so the Joe Gibbs struggles continue here. Oh well, but I don't think Jeff Gordon not Jeff Gordon, Joe Gibbs has. I don't think that Joe Gibbs has been having like a good season this year. I think, I, I think that I think they've been struggling. They've been struggling to get in the hang of things. But I'm pretty sure that next year, but I'm pretty sure that like next year they're going to be in. They're going to be in like. They're going to get back to the roots like next year. I think, at least I think that Matt Kenseth. I, I, I think yes, Cody Hagan. I am aware that the first caution of the day happened. Uh, 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 okay, so so Kyle Busch actually got loose off of turn four and hit the wall. So he got loose coming off turn four into the wall, and apparently damage from that impact in turn four carried on into turns 1, 2, over Kyle Busch must had erupted must have had like a popped tire and bam into the wall. So the bad luck continues for Kyle Busch here, and they've been having like a lot of bad luck here. They do have track. They do have like Bristol. They do have tracks like Bristol, and they have a track like Atlanta over two of best Kyle Busch's race tracks to at least have redemption in them. But Kyle Busch, he's got if Kyle Busch is going to be a championship threat, he's got like isn't here. I kind of feel like that when it comes to Kyle Busch in the nation. Uh, uh, um, in the Nationwide Truck Series, Kyle Busch he just has like because in the Nationwide Truck Series, Kyle Busch has the experience. He has the experience, and he'll have more experience than everyone else in that field. So that's why Kyle Busch. That's why I think Kyle Busch does so well in those nationwide and truck cars. But I think when he gets to the Cup Series, I think when he gets to the Cup Series, he has to race drivers who are more that are either equal or more experienced than him. So I think that's why Kyle Busch does not have the Cup success. So so I think I think that's what I can be doing to explain. Uh, okay, and now I'm gonna start pulling. Now I'm gonna pull up a second tab here, and go to the NASCAR live leaderboard. We're here, and if we go to Race Buddy, we have 6 cameras. We have a camera on Keselowski, Harvick, Patrick, Biffle, Johnson, and Junior. So it's great. So it's good to see a camera on Jimmy Johnson's car after going absent for the past 2 weeks. Uh, and Jimmy Johnson. Oh well, let me say this. I'm not expecting Jimmy Johnson. I'm not expecting Jimmy Johnson to do that well here. I feel like this is going to be another. I feel like this is going to be another one of those races where Johnson will struggle. So I'll say that. So I'll say that. And Johnson apparently came up the road underneath the caution. That possibly explains something here. So anyway, back to the coverage. Okay, okay. I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised after a crash like that, Cal, which would have to go to the garage. But there's obviously something going on in that car for reviewers do not know. Anyway, here we go. So now Joe Logano is going to start on the high side. Let's see how much that benefits him. Here we go. Here, Logano gets lit here, and Kevin Harvick, who I believe restarted right behind him, had some like serious problems here. Man, had some serious problems. So that's Mr. here. Anyway, so Logano gets the lead, and someone pick is doing very well right now. And okay, so Jeff Gordon is in second here. Edwards is in third. So nice run for Edwards here. I feel like Carl Edwards has been more of a like a quiet driver for this race. You know. Anyway, anyway, so we got side by side action here. Like, so we got like side by side action here, starting at like 10th place, or something like that. Oh well, so lap 9, 200 here. So yeah, so Harvick did have some trouble on the restart here. Anyway, and Harvick went past Edwards, and Keselowski goes by Edwards up. So Edwards gets bumped from third to fifth, and Edwards may lose his spot to Brian Vickers here, because Brian Vickers is challenging Edwards for the fifth spot here. So let's see what happens here. Anyway, lap 10 at 200 here. Logano is still your leader. Okay, Janie. Okay, so Edwards having some problems here. Here. Okay. So good. So the 40. Okay, so good. So the 40. Good. So the 48 team use their heads for once this season. Uh. Oh well. Okay. So Jimmy Johnson, he can on pit road to play it safe, because he may have ran over some debris. So good run. So because Johnson has been having a lot of tire problems this year. We can go back to Bristol. We can go back to Bristol, and then we can go to recently, New Hampshire and Pocono. Okay, so, so Kyle Busch apparently reported suspension damage on his car. I don't know. So I don't know. We get unless something happens in the race, I'm gonna say something here. I feel like that possibly. Okay, so last year the Double E Cup Series, so last year the Double E Cup Series guy, he did chase race reviews here. He did chase race here. My God, I'm not saying the right word to say. So last year, to help the Double E Cup Series did chase race reviews, and I was possibly thinking about doing that, but I'm not quite sure. I guess if people wanted to do it, then I can do it. But they they never they never know they never know like what could happen. Anyways, now we're on lap like 14 here. Uh, let's see. So before I started this live stream, I actually watched the Cheese It 300 here, and it's a NASCAR style motion race that was uploaded by the NSMA FedEx Cup Series here, and and I watched the race. It was a good race to watch. It was a good race to watch. My one advice to the NSMA FedEx Cup Series guy is to possibly see if you can like widen see if you can like widen your racetracks. That's my one advice. That's my one advice to estimate for X Cup Series guy. But other than that, good animation. I loved your behind the scenes video. And speaking of his behind the scenes video, so the NSMFX Cup Series channel, it uploaded a video of its behind the scenes, and and one of the things I noticed that what he does. Sorry here. I stumbled on words. But uh, the NSMA FedEx Cup Series guy. He he uses some kind of like he uses some kind of like randomizer like poll to 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 decide his winners, and that's kind of, and that's and let me say this, season one, season two, and then season three as well. I don't like to use like I don't like to use like randomizers or pick names out of a hat and whatever name I pick as the winner. What I like to do is I like to choose the winners. I like to choose the winners for myself. But one of the things that I will say is that I like to have I like to have different. I do like to have a lot of different winners. Every season I do those Cup series. So there's so there's that information on how I pick my winners. There. And if anyone is curious, if anyone is curious, I am actually, I am actually using the I'm actually using the headset. I am using the headset microphone, but that may change. Oh no, and as of right now, I'm currently the only one at my house. My family is somewhere. My family is uh at, at our houses, but they'll be back tomorrow. Anyway, so the future so the future super EV master plans. What I do hope to have is I do plan to have a surprising Lowe's Cup Series season 3 update soon. So and it's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise to those who have been watching in the off season from episode 1 to episode 19. uh, and very sure, and shortly, and shortly, I do hope to work on work on my final race check here. And by the way, for those who are tuning in at the at the 37 minute at the almost 37-minute marker right now. uh, Oh, sorry. I'll hold that for just a second. The competition caution has come out here. I left 20, so okay, so my prediction came true. We're not gonna have a wreck on the competition caution, which is good. Anyways, so now drivers are gonna start coming out to pit road here to check on their tires, to check on the tires, and then they can refuel their cars. Okay, okay. Let's see. So I'm curious to see who will. I'm curious to see who is fine with their cars and stay out, and who may need to make some adjustments here. I feel like if some drivers, around around Lake Someplace want to challenge, are going to challenge, going here, they're definitely going to have to make some like huge adjustments here. So I'll say that. Okay, so Ryan Newman stays out. I think what Ryan Newman is doing is that uh, he may just be trying to get like a few more points.
by leading a lap, he'll he'll get an extra bonus point by doing that, and it's 1 point, and that's 1 point safer. One point safer from not getting bumped out of the chase. So I think that's why Ryan Newman stayed out here. If you actually oh well
for those who are watching, if you actually look at the grandstands in Michigan International Speedway here, there are actually some like tiny lights being activated here. So that's that's super so that's super interesting. I'll say as I just got to like 40 minutes here. And yeah, just as a reminder, the link to join the hangout here is in the description for those who are interested in joining. So yeah, so I think so I believe Joe got off the pits for first. I believe. Uh, no way. The race off pit road was actually Keselowski, Logano, so Logano got second. Gordon, Harvick, Murray, Vickers, Busch, Menard, Biffle, and Larson. So everyone but Keselowski took 2 tires, so that's like oh I'm sorry. Let me try saying that again. Uh, all but Keselowski took 2 tires, so Keselowski just got fuel only, and everyone else just got 2 tires. So that's quite interesting here. And okay, so interesting. Oh wait a second. I'm kind of I'm kind of confused here. Okay, so who will let's see. So how will this restart shake up here? Is Johnson? NASCAR live leaderboard says that Ryan Newman who stayed out, and then second is Jimmy Johnson. So did Jimmy Johnson stay out? I'm curious here, and yeah, and so what? Let's see. So what will happen? Let's see. So what will happen next year? Oh, anyway, I just like I just like found like this out like today. Uh, anyway, so one of the things I found out was that Jimmy Johnson apparently well actually okay so Jimmy Johnson did stay out. I think this is possibly because he already pitted in track position. So anyway, Sampe Road here, Kyle Larson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. got together here, and that got damage on Kyle Larson's car, the left front here. And I'm curious to see how that affected him here. Here we go here. Ryan Newman, Jimmy Johnson in the front row here. Let's see how they hold their game against everyone else who either took 2 tires here. So Jimmy Johnson actually takes the lead away from Ryan Newman here. Oh, Patrick is in the lead. Oh, just Algar. Oh my God. Like on that, Matt Kent's involved. Oh my goodness here. So, oh my goodness here. So Patrick spun, Kent also spun as well. So huge championship implications here. Not championship, chase implications here. So Justin Allgaier appears to have gotten the most damage here. Sorry if my microphone just like moved slightly here. Anyway, oh, Martrix Jr. Martrix Jr. Martrix Jr. Chara Vane. Okay, so apparently we have more drivers involved here, and this happened. And this crash happened like mid-pack here. Okay. Okay. Wow. So I'm actually really glad that Johnson. So I'm actually really glad that. So Patrick was inside Jeff Burton, got went at the racetrack, got into Burton, and then went down into cars, and then that's where they collected Justin Allgaier, Michael Nett, Charbane, Montreux Jr., and then Matt Kenseth, who spun and Matt Kenseth spun behind this. Yeah, yeah. There was pretty much nowhere for Justin Allgaier or Michael Nett or even Charbane to go. Let's see. So what happened here? So and then let's see, and then let's see, and then Eric Almirola, and then Eric Almirola got into Matt Kenseth here. So Eric Almirola is also involved because he has some kind of damage. Let's see, let's see, and then JJ Yaley filling in for Ryan Truex Jr. also got spun behind that. Okay, so I believe at least like 8 cars involved. I believe, and this isn't the first time. And this isn't the first time that Daniel Patrick and Justin Allgaier got together. They got involved. They got involved. They got involved back at Phoenix. Back at Phoenix back in March, and I was actually at the race and actually filmed and actually and actually filmed the crash from where I was because the crash happened in turns 1 and 2, and I was and I was actually in turn number 2 watching that race, and then saw and then filmed and was able to film Patrick spinning and just an Algar getting into Patrick. So so a very similar crash. Oh well, but what it seems to be is that it seems like a Patrick should never ever be in like the middle of the racetrack, because I think she gets I because I feel like that like the middle it's a very vulnerable position for any drivers to be, and you know and it basically like showed. Anyways, so Jimmy Johnson, so Jimmy Johnson Jimmy Johnson actually got the lead on the restart. So saying out was actually a pretty smart idea for Jimmy Johnson because I feel like if Johnson came down pit road, he probably would have restarted in the spot in a spot in the spot in a spot of where he may have gotten involved in a crash. Oh well, so good Jimmy Johnson. So good job Jimmy Johnson is such. So yeah, and I think okay, interesting comment. Jackster Game Board commented, "Where's LJ Mills?" Oh well, either Mr. Hendrick fan is going to start his live stream later, or maybe not. But I guess if you're interested into joining, if Mr. Hendrick fan is not, if Mr. Hendrick fan is not going to do one right now, you might as well join this one. I guess you can say on it. You could, but you don't have to. The link is in the description if you want to join the live stream. The live stream is open to anyone as long as they follow the rules, and you can find those rules in my Cheese It 350 at the Glen live stream, or you can also find it in my discussion board. You can go to my channel and then click on discussion. So you can find that there. Here, and so I've yet to have any visitors, but that's okay. Anyway, so as we're cleaning up debris here, there's tire parts. Okay, I'll say this: everyone was able to walk away from the crash all fine. Um, so here we go. Okay, back to the coverage. Okay. Oh well, I think. Oh, well, I think next week. Next week at Bristol is going to be a good race. I think next week at Bristol is going to be a good race, and hopefully, unless rain gets in the way, I can do the live stream. I can do the live stream at nighttime, and that'll be fun to do because because I want to see how good a live stream at nighttime can go here. Anyway, and just an Algar who was involved in the crash, and just an Algar, and just an Algar, uh, who was just an Algar who was involved in that crash, apparently got a road penalty for too many men over the wall, and Bane and Kenseth are apparently heading to the garage, and I'm kind of surprised for Matt Kenseth because it looked like Matt Kenseth's car was not like badly like torn up like at all. Anyway, and Kenseth and Larson were also hit with pit road penalties for too many men over the wall. So Jimmy Johnson, let's see. So let's refresh our top 10 here as we're almost in lap like 30 here. Our top 10 is Johnson, Newman, Keselowski, Logano, Gordon, Harvick, McMurray, Vickers, Kurt Busch, and Paul Menard. That's your top 10. Okay, so okay, okay, okay. I want to as we apparently let's see where are we? Let's see where okay we just got to like 50 minutes here, or as I'm looking at the screen it says 50 minutes, but maybe something different your time. But okay, so I want to I want to talk about the rule change that NASCAR put. So for those who didn't hear, on Friday NASCAR set a rule change that basically said, you know, unless there's something like a fire or smoke in the cockpit, drivers drivers are not allowed to exit their cars until advised to by safety personnel. And no driver or crew member is allowed to is allowed to go onto the racing surface or even the apron or or even onto the apron. So huge some huge news some huge news right there. But I think NASCAR did the right thing. Now uh now there were some articles out there that was like um there were some articles out there and anyway if anyone if anyone if any if anyone if anyone can find the if anyone can find the article there was an article there was a recent article uh, I talked about Wally Dombach saying that this will change it's going to take away the emotion from the sport or something like that. I'll get to that in a moment here. As the race is going on, I'll look for the article. Anyways, Jimmy Johnson is still here, but Logano is going to challenge Jimmy Johnson here. Oh, okay. So Wally Dombach Jr. I found the article. I found the art. I found the article. I found the article um, that that said NBC's Wallen the NBC the former NASCAR driver Wally Dombach Jr. said that the rule change is going to take away emotion from the sport, and and I insanely disagree with Wally Dombach Jr. I think NASCAR did the right thing here. Joe Logano, do not lecture me. I think that NASCAR I think NASCAR did the right thing here in making that rule change. I think that rule change was necessary because safety, because by far safety is the most important thing out there in sports. Safety is super important in any sport that is run. And I think by doing this rule change, we can be safe. And everyone is safe. No one's gonna have an injury because because I feel like that in any sport, anger management, you have to keep your anger under control. There's a time and place for everything to show your anger. And you can show your anger by after the race going to a driver and having a fist fight. You can do that, but you cannot go out onto the racetrack. And I think okay, I think it because of what happened to Kevin Moore Jr. I think Kevin Moore Jr. was influenced by everyone by everyone else doing this because drivers leaving their car and going out onto the racetrack. That has pretty much been a thing ever since NASCAR was a sport, or ever since motor racing existed. It's always been a thing, and I think by doing this rule for NASCAR, that rule is now that that rule is good, and we shall not have any more problems with NASCAR taking this. I'm glad that NASCAR took action from this and actually made this rule change happen. So I'm very happy on that. And there were and there were like advisories going on saying like, okay, if you were to break the rules, we're gonna probably have like a penalty or a fine, and that's fine. Oh well, and now I think that rule I think that rule yeah I think that rule could be I think that I think that rule could be put into effect at hello.
Oh, hey NASCAR World Cup Series.
Yes, my channel is actually Super Even Master, but okay.
Well, I'm LJ's friend.
Uh, okay. Yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, we had things flying off the cars that hadn't been damaged here over the week, so yeah.
Okay.
Andy, for the 40th and 31.
Okay.
I have to get back to that live stream.
We're gonna have to make a stop that we did.
Huh?
All of them have to make about 5.
Oh no, I have to get back to my live stream here.
In a perfect world, they would have all made another green flag. Green flag stop, yeah. A green flag stop.
I have a question. Do you think you can like turn down the TV a little bit on your TV?
Okay.
Because to me it's coming out like super loud and okay, so here we go. Here, Jimmy Johnson is still the leader, and Johnson is currently able to hold out to the gun here. Well, what's gonna happen this time? I'm gonna have any takers. Let's see. Okay, everyone's staying out here. Oh, Jimmy's coming up the road, and so is Ryan Newman, and those drivers stayed out, and that's so I guess it's kind of expected. But then beyond that, we have some of the BK cars and a few other takers coming up the road here. I did see your comment that said said, "Where's LJ?" And I don't quite know. And I don't quite know where he is. He's obviously not doing his live stream right now.
Oh. Well, when he does his live stream, I'm gonna leave this one.
Okay. Okay. Or he may simply just like not do like a live stream.
Well, LJ's chances of making a hangout is probably 8 to 4.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He hasn't. Oh, he hasn't like. Oh, let me just say it again. He hasn't really like. I don't know. He hasn't like done like anything in the past few hours.
Russ, on this racetrack, you're just gonna have to settle with her.
Just think, Jake, you can get your own and you can touch it whenever you want. You can touch it all the time. All the time. I want to touch it. I know you're mad, Jake. I get you alone. I'm not mad. I know you're mad, Jake. But you got to get your own. I know you're mad, Jake. I didn't mad, but I want to get your own.
Did you see my trip to Mid Ohio yet?
I believe I've seen it.
Oh.
Anyway, and as this live stream just went past like 1 hour here.
Okay. So yeah, we're just about to start the car. So I'll see you at Mid Ohio.
And I pick you. I'll name you Cornelius Upperdingle.
Only 1 in 100 are lucky enough to become America's favorite nut. How fast is 200
Once again, I know. Well, once again, I know. Once again, do you think you can like lower the volume a little bit more because it's coming out like super loud.
Alright guys, we're going on the track right now. So yeah, let's go. Whoa, holy crap, Bowser, my video Bowser Jr. Goes to School has is my third popular video. SUPEREEVEEMASTER. Are you still there? Well, whatever.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to go do something. I had to go do something. But you know. But I'm right back. But if you just turn Jackster Game Board. Jackster Game Board was in the group. and he just and if he were to still be watching, my advice is that if, is to possibly try to lower down like the volume is to lower down like the volume on a and to those who were listening, it almost I don't know what the noise was. I don't know if it was the commercials that were playing on the TV screen, or if he has some kind of like musical toy. But but my advice is that do you think do you think you can like turn that down? Do you think you can like turn that down a little bit? Because one of the things I noticed is that every time I do this like live stream, on the other side of the screen, it can get like super loud. Okay, here. So anyways, so I'm 45 here. Okay. 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 Let's see. So our current top 10 here is now Logano, Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Jamie McMurray, Brad Keselowski, Greg Biffle, Kurt Busch, AJ Allmendinger, Ryan Vickers, and Paul Menard. Anyway, and just and I want to make a mention here. AJ Allmendinger is in 8th place. What I want to see here, I want to see. Okay, so AJ Allmendinger won a real course. I feel like that. I want this race and these next 2 races to showcase AJ Allmendinger. I want AJ Allmendinger to prove to the overall like fan base that AJ Allmendinger can contend for like top 5s or even like wins, because I kind of feel like is that AJ Allmendinger he's been doing really good recently on road courses, so it's almost kind of like no surprise that he would win at Watkins Glen, but I want to see AJ Allmendinger, I want to see AJ Allmendinger like prove to us that he can be a chase contender, because like honestly believes that like okay, so we currently have like 12 chase spots filled. So we currently have 12 chase spots like filled. If sorry for that, I just lost something right there. So if we have like our so we have like our so we have 12 spates. So we currently have 12 chase spots, like locked in securely at this point. And if I and currently as of right now, what I have to do is that after those 12, I have to immediately eliminate Eric Almirola and AJ Allmendinger. Eric Almirola won at Daytona. Well, guess what? Anyone can pretty much win at like Daytona. AJ Allmendinger, AJ Allmendinger has been doing pretty well on road courses, so it's not surprising that he would win at road course. But I feel like that those 2 drivers are definitely not going to win this championship as of right now. And excuse me, I have to mute my microphone for just like 1 second. Okay, I had to mute it for just like a second here because someone just got here at my house. I had to go say hi to her. Anyways, so we're on lap 1. So we're on lap 50 of 200 here. So we're already 1/5 of the race completed, and anyways, so if we go outside, the top 10 here, so 11 through 20th, we have Casey Kane, Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, Clint Boyer, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Newman, David Gilliland, Alex Bowman, and Marcus Ambrose. Good run for Alex Bowman and David Gilliland, especially. And speaking of and speaking of undefined teams, okay, so yesterday, the along with the truck race at Michigan, there was the Mid Ohio race. Mid Ohio is my favorite road course that the NASCAR goes to. I think it's a very creative road course. It's very colorful. It's very colorful and everything. Uh, and and definitely that race yesterday in Mid Ohio, it definitely brought a lot of action, a lot, but a lot of drivers went off course, which I'm which I was very surprised, about. So yeah, and yesterday, and then yesterday, uh, I'm sorry, I kind of like lost my words for just like a second there, so my bad. But and yesterday Chris Buescher won his first nationwide series race, and when I did post, and I posted it in the comments on one of those like videos released yesterday, was that the nationwide regulars have definitely stepped up their game, because at this point last year, we had three nationwide regulars win, and then everyone increased. But now this year we have eight nationwide regulars, and that doesn't mean like eight different winners. It's just like it's just like eight nationwide regular like wins, you know. And Chris Buescher can be added to the list. So the nationwide drivers have definitely stepped up their game, which I'm very impressed by. Anyway, and very shortly here, we should be expecting some green flag kiss ups here, and now we're back to the coverage here. Lap 55 of 200 here, and Jeff Gordon is getting closer and closer to Logano. Oh, but very shortly here, but very shortly we should be expecting some green flag pit stops. Okay. So here comes Jeff Gordon here. Here comes Jeff Gordon here, challenging Joe Logano, as we're going to have like a lap car here. But they're going to split the lap car here. JJLA. Okay, so Jeff Gordon, I believe, led that lap, but he's gonna keep the lead. Here comes Joe Logano here on the high side, and Jeff Gordon is gonna fall right behind Joe Logano here. Okay, so here we go here. Uh, okay, okay. So Jeff Gordon falls behind Joe Logano just a little bit right here. Okay, so okay, okay. Anyway, and as I just noticed here, Jamie McMurray has crept his way up to fourth place here. And I think this year, Jamie McMurray won the All Star race. Jamie McMurray won the All Star race, and he's been pretty, and he's been, I would say, very very consistently quiet. I'll say it, because I feel like that, he's just been a driver. He's just been a driver who's been getting a little bit more better, and now Jeff Gordon takes the lead here over from Joe Logano, and Jeff Gordon will start to pull away, hopefully. Anyway, but very very shortly here we should be expecting some pit stops here, and also I don't know. Uh, okay, so the reason why I had to pause was because on the NASCAR leaderboard it said that Jimmy Johnson is that Jimmy Johnson is apparently reporting that his gear shifter may be broken, which is not good. Which is not good. That 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 could hurt him. That could hurt him. That could hurt him on restarts here, if it is actually broken. But he passed Brian Vickers, so it's obviously not slowing down his car. But Kevin Harvick is about 2 seconds behind the leader here, but he does have a sizable gap between him and fourth place here. I'm actually bringing off the NASCAR live leaderboard for those who don't like watching here. Anyway, so now the green flag pit stops pretty much begin here with like Keselowski coming up the pit road here. Let's see, and who shall we expect here? So Keselowski will pit from fifth place. Here we have other drivers. AJ Allwinninger comes up pit road. Let's see. Okay, so Paul Menard now comes down pit road here. And now the green light pit stops. Cycle has become out. But here comes leader Jeff Gordon here. He's gonna make a pit stop here along Joe Logano, Kevin Harvick. So our top three come down pit road here. Okay, so here comes Murray, Biffle, Kurt Busch. So it's like okay. So Jeff Gordon is apparently the Piper who when he came down pit road, the rest of the field decided to join here. Okay. So Jeff Gordon here. Let's see. So who will get the edge? So who will get the edge? Because green flag pit stops are definitely critical here. And Joe Logano is actually going to edge out Jeff Gordon here, and so Joe Logano is actually going to edge out Jeff Gordon here, and beat Jeff Gordon off the road, and Joe Logano is going to leave the road, with a pretty big gap over Jeff Gordon. So Jeff Gordon is going to have some catching up to do. But Jeff Gordon is definitely being challenged by Kevin Harvick here. Anyway, so Dale Earnhardt Jr. is currently the leader on lap 65, but I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. may have to pit. So let's see. So fine, I'll say the top 10 very quickly. Jr., Johnson, Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Newman, Burton, Dillon, Gillen, Almirola, Hamlin, Edwards. There's your top 10, but that's going to change here in not too long. Here, Brian Vickers and Hamlin both come off of pit road here on lap 66. Anyways, so Dale Earnhardt Jr. is probably going to be out here. It's probably going to be out here for a few more laps. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. who did get involved in the Kyle Larson pit road crash here. Dale Jr. I believe got damage on the right side of his car, but it seems to be somewhat unnoticeable for me at least. As we're on lap 67 here of 200. Okay, so Dale Earnhardt Jr. earlier. Okay, he's not going to come down the road this time by. So Junior, Johnson, Stenhouse Jr., Newman, Burton, Dillon, Almirola, Edwards, Patrick, and then David Reagan is top 10. Okay, so it's faster. Okay, so it's faster cars. So it's faster cars begin to catch up to Junior, and they're going to get their laps back. Okay, so now Daniel Hart Jr. makes his pit stop here, and let's see, and will Johnson take the lead here, or is Johnson going to follow him? Okay, lead change, Jimmy Johnson. So Jimmy Johnson is now in the leader once again, but I'm pretty sure Johnson is not going to be in the lead for much longer here. Jimmy Johnson, will have to come down here, at some point. But as we're on lap 69, 200 here, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson. I want to see what Jimmy does. Is he going to stay? Is he going to stay out again? Yeah, Jimmy is going to stay out here. Anyway, just as a reminder, the link is in the description. For anyone who wants to join. Okay, and for those who are just tuning in now, Jackster Gameborg joined the group chat, and then a few minutes later he left it. Oh well, so Joe Logano, who beat out Jeff Gordon, exiting pit road. It looks like Jeff Gordon is starting to gain back up on Joe Logano because once like Johnson makes his pit stop, because once Jimmy Johnson makes his pit stop, Joe Logano and Jeff Gordon, it's going to recycle back to Logano and Gordon here. Oh well, the music. Oh well, the music used in the well, what would you say? The music used in the Pure Michigan for the music used in the Pure Michigan 400 commercials it's actually the same music that was used when NASCAR made tribute to Dale Earnhardt Sr. on the day that Dale Earnhardt Sr. passed away. It's the same music. I forget what the song is called. I'm going to look it up. Pure Michigan 400 commercials music. Okay, I believe. Okay, okay. The music. The music is used. The music is used in the. Let's see. The music is used in the Cider House Rules movie. Uh, and let's see. I but I don't but I don't but I don't but I don't know what but I don't know what song it is. Um, I don't know. I guess you can type in. So I guess you can type in like the Cider House Rules soundtrack. Find YouTube on that and then listen to the song and listen to the song and then that song and then that's the song, not the song, and that's the music that is used every time every time there's a Pure Michigan commercial. And as I mentioned, that is the same music that they used and that's the same, I guess you can say, sad music that was used when Dale Earnhardt Sr. died on the day, and NASCAR and Fox made tribute to him. So it was that like same song.
Okay. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. I was on Bristol. Bristol. Oh well. The NASCAR weekend. The NASCAR weekend at Bristol is pretty interesting. They have a truck race on Wednesday night, and they have a nationwide race on Saturday night, and then they have a cup. No, I'm sorry. The NASCAR the NASCAR weekend the NASCAR weekend at Bristol is pretty interesting. The Bristol August race. The Truck Series race on Wednesday night, the Nationwide Series race on Friday night, and the Cup Series race on Saturday night. And that Saturday night race is going to be on ABC. So just so people don't get like confused. Okay, so now Jimmy Johnson. So now Jimmy Johnson. So, as Johnson has period start issues. Okay, is Johnson going to get back at the period speed? Oh, okay. So is Johnson is trying to get the like gear back up under control as he as he as he as he as he. Okay. Oh, okay. So now as Jimmy is getting back up to speed here. Okay. So now as Johnson is appears to be back up to speed. Oh no. Okay. So now as Johnson is back. Okay, so now we're in a long, green flag run, and Johnson was slow because of gear, because of a gear shift broken, and that may not be like and that may not be like the first time that Jimmy Johnson is slow, but what whether you're a Jimmy Johnson fan or not, whether you're a Jimmy Johnson fan or not, it's something that you have to sadly deal with, and hope that he'll get better here. Okay. Okay, so now Jeff Bur- so now Jeff so now J- so now Jeff Burton has some period. So now Jeff Burton has some period issues here, and Jeff Burton is filling in for Tony Stewart because Tony Stewart decided to take Michigan off, you know, and, and, and until Tony Stewart until Tony Stewart feels better, and until Tony Stewart like feels better, he until Tony Stewart feels until Tony Stewart feels better. Uh, until Tony Stewart feels better, he'll be he'll be staying out of the race car for quite some time. Okay. Okay, and Jeff Burton goes behind the wall because of electrical issues. Okay, and that's understandable, I guess you can say. Uh, okay, so here we are. So here we are here on lap like I believe we're on lap 85. Are we? Oh, okay, we're almost there. And Jeff Gordon has like a 1.2 second lead right now. I don't know. I think Jeff Gordon. Oh, I think Jeff Gordon. Whatever Jeff Gordon did between New Hampshire and Indianapolis, they're obviously they're obviously a team. I feel like in some cases like Jeff Gordon for someone who is already for someone for someone who is already into the chase. I feel like I feel like as of right now, Jeff Gordon. I feel like that as of right now, Jeff Gordon is the biggest like championship is the biggest championship like right now. I think he's I think he's like showcasing himself in a way that's telling everyone I want to win this championship. And Jeff Gordon, they're doing what they need to be doing is by having like strong performances, leading a lot of laps, and much more. And what I kind of feel like is that more so than other teams, more so than other teams, they are more so than other teams. They are attempting to win the championship. You know because 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 they went to Indianapolis, they went to Pocono, they went to they went to Watkins Glen, and they went to Michigan. Even I don't know, even though all four of those tracks are over 2 miles, they're four totally different racetracks, and Jeff Gordon has been showcasing himself. But these are all but these are four tracks but these are four tracks that they've already been to, or 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 they come to once, or they come to like once in a lifetime. I want to see I want to see how Jeff Gordon does when I want to see how Jeff Gordon like does when we get to racetracks like Dover, when we get to racetracks like New Hampshire, and other tracks. I'll be quite interested to see how see if this momentum will continue as we get into the chase. But we still have 3 races to go, and I. Okay. So our top 10 is Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Joe Logano, Gene McMurray, Kurt Busch, Brett Keselowski, Greg Griffith, Dale Jr., Casey Kane, and AJ Allmendinger. Let's see. So what chasers have been struggling today? Eric Almirola, Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, Edwards, let's see, and Kyle Busch. Okay, let's see. So at least 4 like chasers so far have been like struggling, and if we're and we could, and even though even though Matt Kenseth does not have a win yet, I think he's also been having like issues as well. Okay, okay, okay here. Okay here. Says we're on lap 92 here of 200. As we're on lap 92 here of 200. Let's see what will happen here. Okay, okay, hmm, okay. Here's some 93 here. I think I I think I think so far as we head into the halfway point, the theme of this race, it's basically been the Jeff Gordon, Harvick, and Logano like show so far. Oh well, because uh okay, and as Casey Kane and AJ Omnier keep on battling each other here for like that for the ninth spot. Yeah. So far, I feel like that so far this race, the top drivers all race long have been like Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano. Those have been our, those have been our top like three drivers. You know. Well. I guess I guess it wouldn't surprise me. I guess it wouldn't surprise me if Jeff Gordon like. Okay. Uh. Hmm. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Kyle Larson, hard into the wall, on fire. Okay. Okay. This is gonna be this is one of the situations of where Kyle Larson does have to get out of his car because it's firing because it's fire. So Kyle Larson do what to do because there was fire. Kyle Larson had to get out, but if there wasn't fire, Kyle Larson would of course have to stay in his car. But since there was fire, Kyle Larson gets out of his car, and now and now the safety personnel is ready to take care of him and the car. I don't know. I saw if you're watching if you're paying attention, we saw smoke, and then the camera panned somewhere else, and then the camera like panned somewhere else, and then I had to go back to Larson. So here we go here. So here we go here. Caution. Well, I think he hit the wall. I think he hit the wall because I felt like that. The some of the damage from Dale Hart Jr. Some of the damage from Dale Hart Jr. Um, you know, it was going to affect his like it was going to affect like his day. Um, but I think when Kyle Larson hit the wall, the the oil line or something which I believe is located on the right side of the car broke and caused all that fire. That's I think happened. That's I think happened right there. As people are taking pictures, are taking pictures. Oh well, there used to there used to be like grandstands, like there used to be like grandstands. Oh well, there used to be like grandstands, in turns, in turns standing forward, but those all got like cut, well those all like cut down, which it had to happen. Uh, anyway, and now Jimmy Johnson is coming down the road here to get that to 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 see if they can like fix that like gear shifter. Okay. 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 So it looks like so it looks like that so it looks like Jimmy Johnson got 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 that gear shifter now under control. But I think the 48 team but I think the 48 team is but I think the 48 team is going to come back down pit road again. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Who's gonna win? Let's see. Who's going to win the race off pit road here? Let's see. Joe Logano did not pit, so I think Joe Logano is going to be the leader after his pit stop here. Dale Howard Jr. is the first to leap pit road. Then I believe Harvick, then Gordon, Dylan Keselowski, Kurt Busch, Greg Biffle, and so on. Menard, Hamlin, and Allmendinger. So I think, oh well, so there's the top 10, or at least that's what I saw. Okay, so good for Kyle Larson. So good for Kyle Larson. He took his hand off the wheel. He took his hands off the wheel just before he hit the wall. So he didn't like so. And the reason why drivers do that, and the reason why drivers do that, is so that they don't get like broken wrists. Where is Joey Logano? He's back in 10th. He's back in 10th, but I think but that's definitely going to change when the leaders come back around again. Here, as we now approach lap 100 of 200 here, so we're already halfway. So we're already halfway through the race. So if rain did come, which I don't think rain will, which I don't think rain will, uh, the race will be official. But I'll actually I'll check the weather. I'll check the weather again. Oh well, next. Oh well. As of right now. Oh, as of right now, the weather the weather for Bristol is not looking so good right now. But there's still several days to go. It could all change. Let's see. Let's see. Oh well. Let's see. Uh, I believe. Let's see. I believe the winds are. Let's see. I believe the winds are going east. Let's see. I believe. Let's see. I believe the winds are going east, and there are indeed some storm cells to the west that are going east. So there are indeed some cells, but 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 but, but I want to see what happens here. I'm going to see if the future radar decides to work. Well. I think. I personally think that the future radar on weather.com is not really accurate at all. I don't know for whatever reason. I think it's the one. I think it's the one thing. I think it's the one thing that needs to be improved. But okay, so Ryan Newman once again stays out. He's now a leader. Logano, who also stayed out, is now in second, and then we got McMurray, who stayed out. Who I believe stayed out as well, and then Junior, who Dale Jr. who might had just taken like 2 tires, and then we got Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon, Beck Keselowski, Kurt Busch, and Greg People. That's your top. That's your top 10 here. Anyway. Okay. And anyway, Jeff Burton returns to the racetrack here. Okay. So here we go. So we go here. So they talk about how crazy restarts have been here in recent years, and I think restarts have always been. I think restarts have pretty much always been crazy ever since we went to double file restarts in 2009. Okay. So hopefully shortly here, so hopefully shortly here, we go that
we get back we go back racing here because now this is the point this is the point in the race because now this is the point in the race of where of people are going to be a little more dicey. And some and I feel like that there may be like some teams. I feel like that there may be like some teams. There may be like some teams that get that they're a little bit like are a little bit like concerned that uh, that the rain just may come. There has to be. Hmm. Well. So the caution cleanup like continues here. And and what says here is that Kyle Larson was disappointed. Was what Kyle Larson was disappointed of what happened, but he's physically okay. Yeah, the caution claim is continuous because of the because probably because of all the oil that got probably because of like all the oil that got like laid down. Uh, Anyway, 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 so anyway, and anyway, uh, I recently found out was that uh, I recently found out was that okay, and I believe and they were and I believe that they actually talked about this, and I believe they talked about this before Watkins Glen happens, uh, uh, but I believe but they but Hendrick Motorsports isn't he talking about like moving Chase Elliott to possible to a few Cup races like next year. And I think Chase Elliott he's doing very good this year for his first nationwide year. He's won 3 races. He's won 3 races. But I kind of feel like as a Chase Elliott may just need I feel like Chase Elliott may just need like he may just need like another like year another full time year nationwide and then the year after that move him to Cup because I kind of feel like at Chase Elliott I mean later this year he's going to be 19 years old and I don't I and I just don't quite think his way. What I would do is I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing that Rick Jones Jr. did. He stayed in he stayed in nationwide for he stayed in nationwide. He won 2 nationwide championships and then got booed up to the Cup Series. I think I think that's something I'd like to do. I would like to see Chase Elliott see if he can win a championship before he gets moved up to the Cup Series. So now we're on lap 106 here, as we've been, you know,
kind of feel. I kind of feel like like when I kind of feel like every single time on television when they when they show when they do like radio radio like communications, you know, they should be putting they should be putting like they should be putting like subtext below it because most of the time because most of the time I cannot understand what the driver and crew chief is talking about, and I don't think anyone else can, and I don't think that anyone else can understand what they're talking about. So I kind of wish that they would show like subtitles on what they're saying. Anyway, and as this live stream has been going on, uh, I I got to um I apparently got to 155 subscribers. So great for that. Oh well, I kind of feel like I kind of feel like ever since I kind of feel like ever since mid to late June, mid to late June, my my the amount of subscribers I've been getting is kind of on the rise. There was because there was indeed like a period during like the spring where I didn't get where I didn't get like any subscribers, and now and now it seems to be now it seems to be like every single is it every like 5 days. It's like every like 5 days I seem to get at least like one subscriber. Well, I do kind of feel like is that like the more subscribers you get, because one more subscriber because I kind of feel like I said like one more subscriber is going to make the next subscriber come at an faster rate, and then faster and faster and faster. That's pretty much how that's pretty much how like all channels like work. Okay. Any, anyway, 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 eh, what am I trying to say here? Anyway, they've anyway they've recently they've recently been showing a lot of like football commercials because football season is starting. So boo because because it seems to be is that like every single year there's going to be like a football game that that delays like the NASCAR broadcast. I kind of feel like is that and I kind of feel like this rule should be applied. This rule should be applied to sports like soccer, football, and basketball. I kind of feel like in some cases like unless there's like a tie, unless there's like a tie, there shouldn't be like there shouldn't be like extended time. I feel like I just kind of wish like football, soccer, and basketball games were kind of like that. Okay, so here we go here. So we go here, back racing here. Right. Here we go here. Right. Let's see. Ryan Newman did not get going. Jeff Gordon is getting stuck in the middle of the racetrack here. Oh my gosh. Almost. They're almost 4 wide right there. Okay. So here we go here. So now Austin Dillon is the sitting duck. let's see here. Keselowski's gonna pass Austin Dillon as Austin Dillon continues to lose spots here. He actually went up the racetrack here. Anyways, Sergio Logano is back to lead here. So he'll continue to lead more laps here. Here as Jeff Gordon got in a little bit of trouble here. Oh my God! Casey Kane got loose. I thought Casey Kane was going to get loose and overcorrected back into the wall, but he saved the car. So good on Casey Kane. So good job, Casey Kane, for saving the car uh, and not causing a huge crash because that you know because that amount of like loose car isn't enough to cause like a big one for sure. You know. So Joe Logano has basically pretty much like. So pretty much like Joe Logano has basically been like pulling it away from the rest of the pack here. Okay, okay. I don't know. I kind of felt like I kind of felt like Ryan Newman had problems getting going, and so did the like inside line. I feel like but then as soon as they got through the middle of turns 1, 2, then everyone got back up to speed, and then but then by that point the middle of the pack was still very scattered. But now it's all calm now. As we're on lap 100, okay, it's going to be a lap 113 here now. So now it's lap 113. Anyway, top 10: Logano, Newman, Jr., Harvick, Murray, Gordon, Biffle, Kurt Busch, Austin Dillon, and then Brad Keselowski. That's your top 10 here. Okay, here. So Joe Logano remains here as he's now pulled a 1.5 second lead from Ryan Newman here. Then Dale Earnhardt Jr. is almost 2.5 seconds back. Let's see. So will my pick? Let's see. So will my pick win today's race? He's led the most laps. I do it. Well, I think now drivers have been like. I think now drivers have been more. What is it here? I think drivers are now starting to use more lanes around the racetrack here. Oh, I need caution. I need caution here because if we get a caution Jimmy Johnson would be the free pass. So I kind of need someone to like. So I kind of like someone to like. I need someone's like car to like drop like debris on the racetrack here. Because then Johnson would get the free pass, so I really need like a caution now. Anyway, so now Dale Jr. So now appears to be is that in a few like laps or maybe this lap 117, Dale Jr. is going to pass Ryan Newman here. And Dale Jr. I feel like that Dale Jr. I feel like that Dale Jr. has probably been. I feel like like this year Dale Jr. has probably been the most consistent driver this year. It's hard. It's hard to remember. It's hard to remember. Dale Hart Jr. has gotten involved in wrecks. Okay. So last last time last time I checked to see how far behind Ryan Newman was, it was on lap, it was I believe it was on like lap like 113 here, and he was like 1.5 seconds. Now on lap 118 here, he's now he's now a little bit more than 3 seconds behind. So yeah, I don't think that Kevin Harvick, I don't think that Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon have gained so much, which shows how important like track position is here at Michigan. I don't know because Ryan Newman is now Ryan Newman is 3.3 seconds behind. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 3.5 seconds behind. Kevin Harvick is 4 seconds behind. Jeff Gordon is 4.9 seconds behind. You know, so no. So, let's see. So at this rate, no one's going to catch Joey Logano. That probably means that like it probably means that like we're going to need to get like another caution here to uh you know which means that we're going to need to get like another caution here to just anyone is going to stop Joey Logano here. Well, I think most of it has to do with the live streams. I think most of it has to do with the live streams here, but uh, I think most of it has to do with the live streams. I think, but what's kind of interesting is that in the last 28 days, or no, or in other words, the last 4 weeks, I've actually like gained, I've actually gained almost like three. I've actually gained almost like three like thousand. I'm almost gained like I've almost gained like 3,000 like views, which is insane. What happens is that why do these live streams because since there is like a lot of like watch time on that is done on these live streams, it probably gets it probably gets like promoted better as Ryan Newman comes to pit road here on lap 123. At this rate, we are going to have a repeat winner. Let's see, because where's the highest driver that hasn't won? Jamie McMurray is in fifth, now he's in sixth place. But Jamie McMurray is in sixth place, and he's yet to win. He won the All-Star race, but that race does not count for points. So Jamie McMurray, and then Greg Biffle is actually in eighth, and he's yet to win. So is Paul Menard in ninth, and then Casey Kane in 10th. So let's see. So four out of the 10 drivers in the top 10 have yet to win. But I do kind of feel like there something like crazy would have to happen here. Something crazy would have to happen here for I would say like something crazy would would definitely have to happen um, for anyone, for someone to take down like Logano, Harvick, or Gordon, or Junior, or Kurt Busch. So that's what I have to say about like that. And anyway, and they were just talking about like Carl Edwards here, who started in third place, but who started in third place, who started in third place, but is 27 one lap down here, or is I think one lap down. He's actually 2 laps down. I think Carl Edwards. I think personally like Carl Edwards. He has good. He definitely has good like practice. He definitely has like good practice. He does have like good practice and qualifying speeds, but then it's like but then it's like but then it's like but then it always seems like hard for Carl Edwards. I feel like Carl Edwards gets to the race, something happens. Something happens. Okay. 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 Darn. So because Ryan Newman no. So because Ryan Newman had to pit, he would now sadly be the beneficiary the beneficiary of the free fast, which knocks Jimmy Johnson off that spot, unfortunately. Oh well, but I guess if the race if the race were to end like right now, I guess 18 wouldn't be like that bad of a spot to pit for Jimmy Johnson because Jimmy Johnson has not had a top 20 finish, I believe, since Kentucky. No, wait a second. I'm sorry. He's not had a top 20 since like Indianapolis, because I believe at Indianapolis he finished like 14th, but 14th, and I believe the like TV. And I believe the TV announcers like missed it, but for Jimmy Johnson, Indianapolis Motor Speedway is feast or famine. Either Johnson is really good there or Johnson is really bad, and that was one of Johnson's like, you know, and that was not one of like Johnson's like better Indianapolis races here. Oh, I think what Johnson possibly needs to work on here. I think what Johnson possibly needs to work on is uh trying to qualify better. I think if Johnson got a really good like qualifying spot, he they would have much more like better days. But then again, Jimmy Johnson, he did qualify like second at New Hampshire, and then got like wrecked on lap, and then got wrecked on lap, and then blew a tire, and then like blew a tire on lap 11 and finished 22nd. Finished 22nd. What's kind of interesting is that like Jimmy Johnson, he's finished, he's finished like, you know, only four times in his career has Jimmy Johnson finished 42nd or worse, and two of those times came in the last like 5 races, which is not good. I don't know. What's even kind of worse was that like Daytona in New Hampshire, those were both like back to back 42nd place finishes, which was not good. well, I do remember, I do remember like last year. I do remember that like last year at I remember I remember the interview Jimmy Johnson had after the September return race last year, the final race before the chase last year, and what Johnson did say was that like like I remember him saying that like the month of August is not necessarily like a good month for the 4018 for the reason. Well, but but Jimmy Johnson here, as I believe we have green pit stops. Anyway, it looks like 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 Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick have actually started to catch Joe Logano now as we're on lap 136. Okay, so slap 135 here. Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes to the road. Okay, okay, so it looks like so it looks like at okay, so it looks like at like so it looks like at like so it looks like at like uh so it looks like at like and surely the rest of the leaders should be coming down for pit stops here, and then and then but I will say is that like but I do think like but the drivers will I believe the drivers will have to make at least more than like at least more like pit stop. Man, Jesus, I can't talk today. Oh, and I've said this before. The starting issue is an issue. I'm trying to get better with myself, but starting has been something that I've been struggling with pretty much like the last like 5 years, I guess you could say. But but it's something that I have to like deal with. I think. Okay. So here comes drivers like Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick. I almost feel like I almost feel like Jeff Gordon didn't decide to come up here this time because I feel like what they may be trying to do is that okay. So when he pits and then when Logano pits and I think what because now Logano is losing time the longer Logano is out there. So I think by paying here, Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick may are going to be closer to Logano, or you never know, or you never know, or you never know, or you never know. They could be, or you never know. They could be. You know, they could be the leaders. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. So here we go here. So here we go here. Joe Logano comes down and says Brad Keselowski. So now Busch comes down the road. And hopefully more fall here. So here comes. Here comes Jeff Gordon passes Logano now. So it looks like that. So it looks like pitting a few laps before Logano did worked for Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick, as I said a little earlier. So that worked. Okay, so now the lead change. So now the lead change is actually going to go back. Is actually going to go back to Mr. Japan. Okay, so Jeff Gordon pitting one lap earlier than Logano, and that's the difference. Okay. So here we go here. Lap 143 out of 200 here. So we're almost 3/4 of the way through. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. 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 So at this point, yeah. So at this point, if we're going to have like if we're going to have like anyone else, if we're going to have anyone else take down Gordon and Logano or Harvick, we're going to have to need like a caution, and then a few more cautions. But I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen because I feel like to me, in my opinion, Michigan is not because I feel like unless with the exception of very rare very rare occasions, Michigan it's not going to be one of those it's not going to be one of those like tracks where it's like caution after caution. It's most of the time it's like caution and then 20 laps, caution and then 20 laps, you know. So yeah, I think this race may get like one more caution. Uh, but I don't think so. I believe the race in June. I believe like the race in June. Uh, I believe the race in June did not bring. I believe the race in June did not have a lot of cautions towards the very end. I think possibly that the last like 20. I think possibly the last like 20 laps or maybe more than that had didn't have like a caution, and then Jimmy Johnson like won. Okay. Okay. So let's see. So what lap are we on right now? Uh, lap 148 here, and Jeff Gordon has actually extended his lead a little bit from Joe Logano here. I do kind of feel like is that like who it's like I feel like what's improving here is that when Jeff Gordon is in traffic he can't go anywhere. But when he leads he can actually he can actually like pull. But when he leads he can actually like pull like away. But I think that's like the same for like Logano, so because when like Logano leads, he can he can like pull away from like the rest of like the pack. So yeah. Okay. Okay, so now we're on lap 150 of 200 here, 3/4 of the way through, and our top. In our top five 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 are all previous winners. And I said, and I was telling this to myself, and I was telling this to myself and others earlier in the week, is that like Michigan, if how Michigan is going is going to bring up a predictable winner, but I am definitely like interested. But I am definitely interested to see what like Bristol can do. I think for whatever reason, like this like Bristol race, this like Bristol race, yeah, I think for whatever reason, like this like Bristol race is going to be one to watch. It could have like a point. It could have like a points to shake up. I want to see if Kyle Larson. I want to see if Kyle Larson can like redeem himself, maybe. Okay. Mm. Okay. 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 Let's see. So our current. Let's see. So our current like top 10 is Gordon, Logano, Harvick, Kurt Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Newman, Paul Menard, Keselowski, Murray, and Gase Kane. That's top 10. Oh well, but then. Okay. Okay. So okay. So Jeff. Okay. So okay. So Jeff Gordon. Let's see. So Jeff Gordon here in Joe Logano. Uh. So as a let's see. So what will I be doing here? Well. And for those who are possibly like watching this like now at this point, I did talk about like a little bit earlier, but I'll say it again. I feel like okay. Later this week, it's going to be another off season episode. But it's going to be somewhat of a surprise. So I think you should like so I think you should like I think you should like tune in to my channel for that. I think. And I don't know, and hopefully very like soon I can start working. On. I can start working on. I can start. I can start working on. I I can I can see. I can start working. I can start working on my final new racetrack here, and you can go to my and you can go to my channel homepage and find the and find the video.
Anyways. As right now, I was I just watched I just like watched and liked video and liked video. It was very like it was very like interesting video. It was called Crash Charlotte Motor Speedway Private Testing. And it's from the channel Corey1750. Uh, so about the anyway anyways so about about the so about the uh the track and name and location voting. I definitely I definitely like I definitely like I definitely like I definitely like like most I definitely like I definitely do like I definitely like a lot of the like suggestions they gave me. They were they were very very like good like they are very like good like suggestions. I'll, s- I'll, s- I'll, say, I'll say, and I was very, I was very impressed. I feel like, I feel like I like, I feel like I like, I feel like compared to the, compared to the last two ones, I feel like it's like, there are a lot more like contenders. There are a lot more like contenders. Uh, and I'm a list, and it's very hard to pick one right now if the sport to like end. And now and now Ryan Newman and and now Ryan and now Ryan Newman comes up Piro now, and Carl Edwards had problems restarting the car because he was out of fuel. Okay, so let's see. So Ryan Newman pits in lap 163 here, and Jeff Horner is still the leader here on lap 163. Um, and he has continued to pull away, and he has continued to pull away from Joe Logano here. And now call and now Carl Edwards got penalized for too many men going over the wall. So a lot of penalties. So a lot of penalties in today's race for too many men going over the wall. Anyway, anyway, and now Joe Logano is not, and now Joe Logano is coming out like pit road here. I know. Now I'm starting. Now I'm starting. I know we have like 35 laps to go here, but now I'm starting. But now I'm starting to. But now I'm starting to question. But now I'm starting to question if we're going to have a caution here. So this time, so last time Gordon Pitt before Logano, and this time it's reversed. Logano pits before Jeff Gordon does. So how will this change? And now Kurt Busch once again grabs the lead here as we're now on our final as we're now on our final as now
as we're on our final pit stop cycle. Keselowski is in the leader. Kurt Busch and Dale Jr. make their pit stops here. Okay. Okay. So when is Brad Keselowski going to make his pit stop here? As we got 33 laps to go. 32 laps to go here. Brad Keselowski is still your leader here. Oh my God! Oh, your leader Keselowski in the wall. Caution! Please caution! Yeah, yes, we got caution. Yes, we got caution. Yes, we got caution here. Keselowski, your leader in the wall. Okay, so and this was in the middle of green flag pit stops here. Now we got right, and I believe. Jimmy Johnson is going to be the beneficiary and get the lucky dot. I believe. I'll have to wait for official word here. Anyways, so Brad Keselowski, who was the leader here, goes into turn one. The car didn't like turn entering the corner. It just went like right in the wall. Thankfully, it was up against the walls, so the impact wasn't hard because you know he could have been on the bottom of the racetrack and up and that impact won't have been even harder. Oh well, so Keselowski's day now like ends it ends all straight. Anyway, and Casey Kane is now the leader. Anyway, and we still have like 5 drivers to pit: Casey Kane, Clint Boyer, Greg Biffle, AJ Allmendinger, and Marcus Ambrose. Okay, so now everyone who didn't pit is now going to pit now. No, darn. So Johnson didn't get the free pass, but they still back on the lead lap because he was. Okay, Johnson is back on the lead lap because he was a lap down. But when drivers like Logano and Gordon came up pit road, he got his lap back, and then he stayed on the lap when the caution came out, and then Ryan Newman, who was the first car lap down, he gets his lap back now. So it benefits both Newman and Johnson. They're now back on the lead lap here, but we just have like 16 cars on the lead lap here, which is not that much. But now we're gonna go back racing here with probably like 27 laps to go. and but 27 laps is still a lot of racing laps here, and we only and we currently and we currently only and we currently only and I believe we currently only have like one car out of the race, and I believe that's like Kyle Larson, and I believe that's like Kyle Larson here. So Kyle Larson, I believe, is going to get like a 43rd place finish here now. Anyway, Austin Dillon, who was a lap down, is is he penalized? Is he penalized here? I'm gonna figure out. I don't know. Sometimes, the NASCAR live leaderboard here can be confusing here. But Austin Dillon, who I believe was a lap down, got penalized for leaving too fast, I believe. Yes, he is a lap down. So there's that. Anyway, another recent SUPEREEVEEMASTER activity idea was uh, I uploaded a new diecast review. I uploaded a new diecast review, and this is diecast review number 58, and it's the Charles Belding number 72, 2014 Domino's Pizza slash Krispy Kreme, uh, Chevy SS. I changed the number to 72 because in this era of NASCAR there aren't many like NASCAR car numbers that are in the 70s that are in the 70s or that are in the 70s or the 80s. So that's why I decided to take 72 from instead of keeping it number 97. Oh well, and Charles Belding is now one more car added to the season 3 roster here. Is now one more car added to the season 3 roster. And I don't know, and I think season 3. I don't know. I think it'd be cool to start season 3 in September, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I'm just going to have to like wait to see what happens here. But anyway, the lights are off. The lights are off on the pace car now. Joe Gant and Jeff Gordon, your front row, your two most dominant drivers of the day. Those two combined have led a lot of laps, and there is indeed like some concern if Logano has enough fuel to make it here. Anyway, and Keselowski who hit the wall, he got penalized for paying too soon. Anyway. So recorrection. There's actually 18 cars on the lead lap instead of 16. Well. Oh well, and never mind. NASCAR just added a extra lap. An extra lap of caution because there were actually like safety vehicles still on the racetrack. Well. So this restart in Michigan could get wild. But you never know what happened. But you never know what happened. It's NASCAR. The phrase goes, anything can happen. So
Okay. Okay. So now. Okay. So now we're gonna restart. Okay. So now we're. Anyway, the first 40 laps of racing had the first 40 laps of this race had 4 cautions, and then the last one, and then the last 100, and then the last 132 laps had just like 2 cautions. So let's see. So will the trend continue here? Let's try and get back racing here. Here we go. Logano, Gordon up front here. Let's go racing here. Turn it up. Turn it up. Here we go. Green flag here. Logano, Gordon to the lead. Here comes Harvick challenging Jeff on here. Harvick is getting help from his former teammate Paul Menard. Here we go here. What's gonna happen? Paul Menard to the inside. Oh my god! Oh my god! Jeff Gordon into Joe Logano, but they all saved it. Here, Logano's. Now we got 3-way battle for second here. Kurt Busch, Gordon, Paul Menard. It's back to 2 wide now, and Logano remains your leader after that craziness. After all that craziness. Oh, we got spin. Oh, we got spin. Brian Vickers. In the similar spot. Brian Vickers spins in the similar spot of where he spun back in June. Okay, so Brian Vickers backs it up here, and now gets back rolling here. So anyway, so now we got another caution. Cautions bring cautions, as Darrell Walter says. So now we're probably gonna have, so now we're probably gonna have like a. Okay, so now we're probably going to have like a restart here on lap on lap 22. Okay, so Logano. Here's your top 10: Logano, Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Paul Menard, Danny Hamlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Clint Boyer, Greg Biffle, Casey Kane. That's your top 10. Okay, and if we go back to the rest of the cars on the lead lap here, it would be Ambrose, Jimmy Johnson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., AJ Allmendinger, Ryan Newman, Brakazowski, and Jamie McMurray and Casey Mears, I believe, and that's 11th through 18th. So 18 cars are on the lead lap. Danica Patrick is the first car 1 lap down here. She's 19th. Oh well. In case Mears was the beneficiary of that of the free pass, so he'll be back. So he'll be back on the lead lap here now, as we just have 24 laps to go here. What will happen? What will happen here in this race? As I mentioned, NASCAR, anything can happen. Okay. Here. Oh, okay. Here. I still think. I feel like in some cases, like I feel like
enjoy Logano's position. Um, I feel like Joe Logano would have to have like a bad restart or a mess up or a mess up right here to lose this race. I feel like Joe Logano. I feel like I even know we have at least like I feel like I even know we're going to have a restart here and there's still 20 plus laps to go. I feel like Logano still has it in the bag here. And one thing and what I'm reading off of the NASCAR live leaderboard here. Gordon says he's not happy about Logano on the restart. Gordon says that Logano slowed down as we got into the box. Anyway, so I predicted right here. We're going to restart here. We're going to restart here. 22 laps to go. What will happen? Okay here. So Paul Menard is the highest restarting car here without a win here. Can he challenge it? Logano to the lead. Kurt Busch is second here as we have restart here. Okay, 20 laps to go. Oh my God. Let's see. Will Logano go in here? Here comes Kurt Busch, but I think Logano may get the run on the high side, and he does. Oh, Kurt Busch loose into the wall here. Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch up high here. Kurt Busch, I think Kurt Busch got like loose on the inside and hard into the outside wall. Oh, debris. Now we're gonna have a caution here. Because Kurt Busch up into the wall, debris everywhere. Please the caution. Yes, yeah. Okay. So cautions bring cautions, as Darrell Waltrip once said. Okay. So this is good. So this is gonna be like a long cleanup here. Let's see. So there was no contact between Kurt Busch and Logano here, but I think what happened here was that Logano, hey, but I think what happened was that like okay, so I think Kurt Busch was trying to side drive off of Logano, and then as Logano came soaring back on the high side, the air got like sucked off of him, and which caused the car to get loose, and then into the wall. So Dan Patrick gets the free pass here. She'll be back. She'll be back on the lead lap. Okay, so our top 10 is Joe Logano, Jeff Gordon, Paul Menard, Kevin Harvick, Danny Hamlin, Dale Jr., Greg Biffle, Clint Boyer, Marcus Ambrose, and Casey Kane. That's your top 10. That's your top 10, and then okay, and then 11th through 19th is Allmendinger, Ryan Newman, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Brad Keselowski, Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Johnson, Casey Mears, Kurt Busch, and Danica Patrick here. That's 11th through 19th. So 19 cars are currently on the late lap here.
and I don't know. It's going to be at least a couple more laps here until we get back on racing here. I predict that as of right now, we're going to restart here on lap 100 and like it could possibly possibly lap 184 maybe, and that would basically mean like 16 laps to go here. So basically, so my prediction is like okay, so 16 laps to go here. So 16 laps to go here. We're we're going to so 16 laps to go here. Uh, we'll go back racing under Copenhagen. Anyways, so this has been a pretty enjoyable live stream here. I've had a great time commentating over it, and I do feel like I have compared to some of the other previous live streams, I have been doing a little more commentating and talking more about like NASCAR, which is good. Wonderful. Oh, and I seem to be and I seem to be like the only like and I seem to be like the only like one. Okay. Here. So 18. Let's see. Okay, so I have 18 us to go here. So Paul Bernard and Paul Bernard is the highest non-winner this year. And I did say earlier that he won the nationwide race back in June here, in Michigan. So I think he does have like a chance, but I think he definitely has like the best chance to take Jeff Gordon and Joe Logano like down. Okay. Okay. Here. Okay. Here's okay. Let's see. So what will happen? Okay. Okay. So let's talk from the pace car here. Okay. So I was one lap too much. So I was one. I don't.
Okay, here. Okay, here. Mm, mm, okay, so here we go here. 17 laps to go here. We'll have to kill Logano, Gordon, Menard, Harvick. Our top four. Here we go. Back racing here. 17 laps to go. What will happen? It looks like Gordon is going to keep up with Logano here. What will happen here? Logano, Gordon, Gordon clears Logano. Okay, so here we go. So here we go here. It's a great restart, but by Jeff Gordon here, he's got the lead. He's got the lead for now. Start. Okay, so we've seen this before. So we've seen this before. Jeff Gordon versus Joey Logano. We saw these two drivers race together at Texas back in April. But here comes Kevin Harvick into the mix and Paul Bernard. Here we go. So I think. Whoa. Like whoa. Logano gets loose off of turn 4 and is gonna lose like second, third. Is gonna lose second, third, fourth. Okay, maybe not fourth, but you know he gets the screw back together. Now Logano is going to have to catch up back to Jeff Gordon here. Jeff Gordon out in front. Okay. Okay. So Jeff Gordon here, Kevin Harvick. Four jumps to go. There's still some racing left, but I don't think that anyone is going to catch Jeff Gordon here. We're going to have to get like another caution. It seems before. I feel like that since like Logano is in traffic here, he's gonna have like a hard time gaining. Okay, so here we go. So here we go here. So here we go here. If you want to join now, the link is in the description here. Here we go. 11 laps to go. Okay. So here we go here. Most of the field is like side by side until we get to a battle between Ryan Newman and Jimmy Johnson here. Okay. So Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman are racing for 10th. Anyway, and as we just surpassed 3 hours of this live stream, let's see, 10 laps to go. Okay. 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 So Jeff Gordon. Let's see. Okay. So Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick. Okay. So Jeff Gordon. Okay. So Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick. We're I will say is that yeah, as mentioned, we're going we're going to have to we're going to have to get like a caution here. Anyway, incur Bush incur. Okay. Anyways, so 8 laps to go here. So 8 laps to go here. It looks like Jeff Gordon. It looks like Jeff Gordon is definitely going to win today. Unless a caution comes out, but I don't think I don't think a caution is going to happen because one of the things that I noticed is that in the last I noticed how it seems to be is that in the last couple years here the 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 more in the last whoa. Don't worry. Don't worry. I have a feeling that like Johnson or Newman is going to like wreck here. You know. Okay, 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go here. Side by side battle between 10th. The most exciting battle of the as of right now. Whoa. Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman. Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman not. Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman not laying off each other. Okay, coming to 4 laps to go here. Here now. Kind of 4 laps to go. Jeff Gordon looks looks like looks like Jeff Gordon is on his way to win this race here today. Okay, and Kevin Harvick can't seem to catch him. So good day for Jeff Gordon. So good day for Jeff Gordon. Definitely a good day for Kevin Harvick. Because Kevin Harvick has just been like struggling. So good fish for Kevin Harvick. So yeah, so Kevin Harvick has had a up and down season. So I think this finish for Kevin Harvick, it's gonna hopefully start good momentum for this team. With 3 laps to go here, Jeff Gordon leading, just need to pull away. Okay, so here we go here. As the battle for third is forming, as the battle for third is forming here between Logano and Menard. Jimmy Johnson passed by Newman here for 10th. Anyway, and looks like Kevin Harvick is going to tie Dale Jarrett from most second place second consecutive second place finishes at one racetrack. Most consecutive second place finishes here at one track. That's what I was trying to say. He'll tie and. Okay, and now Johnson got past. I'll say is that okay. This was definitely a good redemption race for Jimmy Johnson. He needed a good run here. 2 laps to go here. White flag. Here we go. Jeff Gordon takes the white flag here. 1 lap to go. Jeff Gordon. He's on his way. He's on his way. to get his third career win, and to end the 16 race winner's dream. What's gonna happen here? Final lap. Here we go. Jeff Gordon gets past the lap car here, and now let's just go here. You got a long back straightaway, and then you got 2 more corners. Will Jeff Gordon do it? Can he do it? Can Jeff Gordon get his third win? It's been since 2001 since he got a win in Michigan. Jeff Gordon comes off turn 4. Jeff Gordon gets his third win of the season at Michigan. His first since 2001. Jeff Gordon wins. Watch out for Jeff Gordon in this chase. He'll definitely be a dangerous start. He'll definitely be a dangerous start for this championship. I'll say that. Anyway, so we got 3 more races to go. Bristol. We got Bristol, Atlanta, and then Richmond to go. Can Jeff Gordon keep the strong runs going, or will someone else be able to challenge Jeff Gordon here? We'll see how it ends. We'll see how it ends here. Anyway, I shall now end the live stream here. So for those who are watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Jackster Gameboard for joining this group chat, even though it wasn't very long. Thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all later. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe. See y'all later, and bye.